pass to Lawyer. He'll shoot a three-point left. It's no good. Rebounded by Braylon Smith. Braylon Smith with the rebound. 10 seconds to go. Lawyer stopping. Throwing it inside the clock. His shot is good. Good, and he was fouled. He was fouled. A potential and one with 5.2 seconds remaining. And Purdue takes a 78.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, producer Susie and I are so thankful that you've joined us. I'm your host, Greg Mengel, and this is my new podcast, Greatness Friends Talk Sports. 10 to 30 minutes every day, my friends and I talk about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about. Coming up, the Pacers and Boilermakers both went to overtime. My friend and our Pacers guy, Mike Rich, and my friend and our Purdue guy, Jake Dunn, will join us to talk about the dramatic wins. Plus, we have girls diving and boys basketball results, a look ahead to Wednesday, including Butler's home game against UConn, a homecoming for Greenfield's Braylon Mullins. Before we get to all of that, I want to let you know what's going on at the Central Indiana Sports Report. We had a Pacers report on Monday with my friend Mike Rich and my college roommate Matt Powell. And we released a Purdue report this morning with Jake Dunn, talking mostly about the win over Nebraska and Braden Smith pursuing the all-time assist record. And we normally have an IU report on Tuesdays. This week, it has been pushed back to Wednesday night or Thursday morning because all three of my IU guys were at the IU game late Monday night and were too sleepy to do it last night. Quick note, Greg and his friends talk sports is going to be a little late on Thursday, probably about 4 o'clock. I'm going to talk to my friend Aaron Pittman following the Noblesville Boom College Park Skyhawks game, which begins at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. My friends and I will be back tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. A wild, wild, wild one Tuesday night in Lincoln with number 13 Purdue overcoming a late Cornhusker push and overtime for maybe its best win of the year. Purdue led 14-1 early and by as many as 22 points in the first half, 46-22. Even when Nebraska made its late run, it seemed like it was too much to overcome, but it wasn't. The Cornhuskers eventually tied the game at 68 with a 15-1 run in the final 2 minutes and 45 seconds of regulation. Rink Mass putback tied the game with 12 seconds left, and Braden Smith missed a potential game winner in regulation. Purdue scored the first 5 points of overtime, but Nebraska went on a 7-0 run and took a 77-75 lead with 1:31 left after a Price Sanford layup. As you heard from Rob Blackman of the Purdue Radio Network, Fletcher Lawyer missed a potential game winner with 10 seconds left. C.J. Cox kept the ball alive. It wound up in the hands of Braden Smith, who threw a brilliant entry pass to Oscar Clough, who made the game-winning layup and got fouled. Purdue had 21 offensive rebounds in the win and out-rebounded the Huskers 54-37. Trey Kaufman-Renn and Oscar Clough, 33 rebounds combined, 13 of them on the offensive end. That was the big difference on a cold shooting night for the Boilermakers. Purdue was led by 18 points from Fletcher Lawyer, but he was just 5 for 20 from the field. In fact, Purdue shot 37% for the game. Braden Smith made some history Tuesday, seeing the most playing time in program history. He also moved up the all-time assist list, which we talked about on the Purdue report that we released a little earlier. Here is a taste of that one.
Jake, one of the most emotional games I've ever witnessed that wasn't in the NCAA tournament on Tuesday night at Nebraska. It went from, this is the team we've been waiting for, this is a team that can win the national championship, to this is a pretty disappointing way to finish the game, to, oh my gosh, we're going to lose this game, it's the worst loss I can remember in a long time, to, I don't know how to feel about this win, Jake.
I'm kind of right there with you. I think it definitely felt like a tournament type game to me as well. And Purdue survived and advanced here, just like you do in the tournament. They, to your point, they dominated for 30 minutes, nearly gave it away, and then at the end showed enough resolve, I guess, to escape Lincoln with a 80-77 win in overtime.
And it wasn't just that they gave it away, it was kind of how they gave it away. And don't get me wrong, Nebraska took a lot of that. That's a really good team that didn't play very well early on. We're too late in the season to be seeing this many concerns, this many cracks, this many issues.
I agree. It was nice to see Purdue be able to come out and kind of blitz Nebraska like they did. They had 4 threes before the first media timeout. And at the first media timeout, had a 14-1 lead. So that was good to see. Purdue dominated the glass, which was, again, good to see. In the first half, they had 10 second chance points, and that really helped set the tone for the game. Their defensive rebounding percentage was 84.6. It's well above the season average of 73.5. TKR had 19 rebounds. Oscar Clough had 14 rebounds, and Purdue was really just able to overwhelm Nebraska. And then that's kind of when the turbulence hit. Nebraska went on an 18-2 run that sliced that 22-point lead down to 5 in what felt like a blink. And that's a theme that has continued here. Extended lapses where the game just kind of flips. Purdue did attempt 46 three-pointers, which that is a school record. Fletcher Lawyer took 17 three-point attempts. That's the second most in school history.
He made them early.
Yes, he did. Before finishing, I think it was about he finished 5 of 20 from the field. So,
man, he could not hit anything. He had about 7 shots that really would have just ended it. That couldn't hit a single one of them.
I think if Purdue shoots a little better than they did, just a honestly terrible shooting night from all aspects. 37% from the field, 28% from 3, 55% from the free throw line. So it's not a great shooting night, but Purdue again was able to pull through.
21 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. And off of that, 17 second chance points. Nebraska only had 6.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. They were really good on the defensive glass as well.
Yeah. Yep. Purdue had 54 total rebounds, which that's just pretty crazy.
It's 33 between 2 guys, as you mentioned, and then 40 between 3 if you throw in Braden Smith's 8.
Again, go check out that entire podcast, the Purdue Report, released earlier Wednesday morning. Losing track of the days. More good news for the Boilermakers. Wisconsin upset Illinois. Another overtime game in the Big Ten on Tuesday night. So number 2, Michigan now has a 2-game lead over a 4-way tie for second place with Purdue, Nebraska, Michigan State, and Illinois. Tipton's Ben Hummerkaus started and had 10 points and 7 rebounds. Notre Dame lost 89-81 at SMU. Former Fisher star and Anderson native Jalen Harrelson led the Irish with 23 points. In women's college basketball, Ball State improved to 20-5 and 11-1 in the MAC with an 83-68 win at Eastern Michigan. The Cardinals now trail league-leading Miami by a half game. It is the 5th straight 20-win season for the Cardinals. And Indiana's Shea Shesky has been named Big Ten Player of the Week after averaging 30 points and 10.5 rebounds while shooting 58% last week in wins over Wisconsin and Purdue. The shorthanded Indiana Pacers were terrific in their 14th win of the season, a 137-134 overtime victory at Madison Square Garden over the Knicks. Pascal Siakam scored 30 and Andrew Nembhard was sensational with 24 points, 10 assists, and 4 steals, and clutch play after clutch play. The player of the game, though, was Quentin Jackson. This kid is a player, man. Ice water in his veins the entire fourth quarter and overtime. He finished 5 for 7 from the field with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. I think his G League days are over. The loss ends the Pacers' 4-game losing streak, and tonight is the final game before the All-Star break, still in New York, this time in Brooklyn against the 15-37 Nets. And here's my friend Mike Rich's reaction to the win and the overtime that was keeping him from getting to sleep. Mike Rich, it's always good to beat the Knicks, and this was a gutsy win.
It was a fantastic win from start to finish. I think there was probably close to 40 league changes in this game. Exciting. Fourth quarter and an extra overtime was just great basketball. Really exciting. It was nice to see Towns foul out in
Yeah,
overtime.
that definitely
But
helped.
yeah, definitely a good win. Always a good win when you beat the Knicks. And out of the, I think we were looking at the next four or whatever, and this is one I did not expect. Was I was hoping it was going to be competitive, and it was definitely competitive. But to come out of New York with a win, that's always good.
And a lot of really good shot making, a lot of really good clutch shot making.
Yeah, and it was good to see Kobe Brown. He played a pretty good game. I think Quentin Jackson had a hell of a game. 2 big free throws in overtime, and put it away.
And
Yeah,
Siakam and Nemhard were amazing.
yeah, they were fantastic. I mean, where they have 8 people in double figures, and of course, Siakam and Nemhard, as they should be, leading the team. And the only thing that stuck out with Siakam was those 2 missed free throws. I was like, oh my gosh, don't ruin a good game by that. Like I said, it was a fantastic win. Very satisfying to watch that game.
And how damn good is Jalen Brunson?
Oh, he's awesome.
Brunson had a game-high 40 points in the win. The loss makes the Pacers now 14-40, still the second worst record in the NBA. The key is to stay in the bottom 3. The teams with the 3 worst records in the league have the same odds to get the number 1 pick or a top 4 pick. And of course, if the pick is number 5 through 9, it goes to the Clippers after the Zubats Mathurin trade last week. Haven't done this in a while. Go to Tankathon to simulate what will happen to the Pacers at the May 10th NBA Draft Lottery. And today it is Cameron Boozer of Duke, and of course we will take that. That would be amazing. Probably the best fit for next year. I really like Caleb Wilson's upside, but Cameron Boozer is, I believe, going to be the rookie of the year next year, and would probably help the Pacers at least a little bit in a potential championship run. Even with so many of their players up with the shorthanded Pacers, the Noblesville Boom closed out their long road trip with a 117 win over the Long Island Nets in Laval, Canada. Adis Toney led the Boom with 30 points. DeJuan Gordon had 22 and MJ Iraldi 21 off the bench. Never heard of a single one of them. Actually, I think Toney played at Arkansas, maybe. The Boom are now 12-8 and face College Park at 11 a.m. at the arena at Innovation Mile, and then the All-Star break. And once again, I will be joined by Boom PA announcer and my friend Aaron Pittman to talk about that one on Thursdays. Greg and his friends talk sports. In the girls diving regionals across the state at Homestead in Fort Wayne, Carmel's Helena Gibson is the regional champion. She scored 451.75 points, beating Noblesville's Aaron McMahon by 10 points. Homestead's Ella Fitzgerald was third, and Zionsville's Grace Whitfield was fourth. Those 4 advanced to the state finals. Some other local divers: Carmel's Emily Linder was 7th, Zionsville's Cora Nichols 9th, and Fisher's Francesca Robinson finished 10th. And at Plainfield, Adeline Fleschner of North Central is your regional champion. New Pal's Isabel Toll finished 7th, and Greenfield Central's Serenity Minchin 10th. And lots of boys basketball in action on Tuesday night, including several CIC teams. Frankton improved to 14-4 with a 60-48 win at Wabash, the 7th straight win for the Eagles, who outscored the Apaches 44-24 in the second half. Southern Wells beat Elwood 58-45 despite 14 points from Bryce Schuler. Alexandria topped Muncie Burris 67-35. The Tigers now 10-8 after going 6-2 in their last 8 games. Bryson Eckler led the Tigers with 17, thanks to Kyle Williams for that. Madison Grant lost 43-35 at Lewis Cass. Blackford won 58-43 at Westdell after a slow start. The Bruins are now 15-4. Eastbrook defeated Daleville 26. Pendleton Heights beat Mississinawa 61-27. The Arabians are now 13-4.